I remember getting a phone call from Coach Jack McAvoy, the athletic director. He called me out of the blue and asked me if I wanted to be the head softball coach at Hillsdale College. Had no coaching experience, had softball experience, but no coaching experience. We were so bad. I mean, we were lucky to win maybe 3 games in the season. We had hand-me-down uniforms that were patched everywhere. Our field was in a quagmire, and there were no fences. There were no base paths. The infield wasn't shaved. It was just a grass field that was downhill at the time, and if you got the ball between the outfielders, it would roll all the way to Barber Drive. I decided that if I'm going to do this, I'm going to do it in earnest. I must have gone into Jack McAvoy's office 24 times, and he said, well, if you want to work hard and you want to do something about it, I'll give you some land. He took my hand and walked me over to where now the Johnny Williams softball field is and said, can you picture a field here? We spent hundreds of hours with our own hands. We did a rototiller and with shovels and a wheelbarrow, we got rid of all of the grass in the infield. And we measured out where the bases would be and dug holes. It actually felt like a real softball team at that point, The first recruit that I signed, that was Renae Schaffner, who became Renae Schaffner. Though she could have probably played at University of Michigan or UCLA or any school in the country, she chose Hillsdale.
Carolyn just did an amazing job selling this place. She was so proud to be a Hillsdale Charger.
And you guys swept up into that.
Into that pride.
Yeah.
I mean, we had a tremendous amount of girls signing after Renae did, because so many of them thought, gosh, if Renae's going to be playing at Hillsdale, I wouldn't mind playing with her. And she was famous or infamous in the softball world.
It was fun to be a part of the process of going from the bottom of the GLIAC, to seeing us take those baby steps and eventually being on top.
I just remember Ann Gappa and Renae just being not just powerhouse pitchers, but they were captains in every sense of the word, and they made it important for us. They made it okay for us to be yeah, we are going to compete. We are allowed to be good in this league.
And we went from being the absolute dregs of society in softball to a respectable program. And it was a program that other teams in the GLIAC had to fear for once. That was a huge turnaround year for us. My husband ended up having an opportunity to run a small business in Southern California. So we made the decision in a very short span of time. Off we went to California, but boy, was it hard to leave these girls, because what a program we had started.
We came back to campus the next fall and they brought us into a room and we met the new coaches.
So I came in that year. I was kind of known as a hard-nosed style coach. And so I was wondering how this was going to work. They were wondering how this was going to work. The beginning wasn't exactly real smooth.
He was very intense.
I had to earn their respect, and that was not easy until we started playing and started winning.
He made us, he took what we had and he made us great.
He made us all overachievers. He had very high standards for all of us. But what he did do is if you did something right, he praised you so loudly that everybody heard it. And I still remember, you crave that moment when you struck a chord with him. It was like, yeah, okay, that was good.
It was actually amazing to watch them have so much fun with all the chanting in the dugout. And all the support and the team chemistry that they had. We ended up winning 40 games, which was the first time in school history. Going into the '91 season, we knew we were losing Renae. We were focused on beating Wayne State, winning the GLIAC, beating Saginaw Valley, getting to the NCAA tournament. We had a lot of goals in mind. We ended up having a record of 41-3.
So we were 7th in the nation defensively that year. Like it all of a sudden hit me. I'm like, this is so good. Nobody gets to this point. Nobody can say that.
We hosted the GLIAC tournament that year, and Wayne came in seeded #1, so we were seeded #2. Everything that we had worked for and built from Carolyn's group in '88 until '91 all came together, it seemed like, in that game. We ended up winning the game 6-0. It was the best moment in my coaching career. Team chemistry is probably the one thing that you can't coach, and they had it.
I'm in a leadership role now in my profession without ever taking a leadership course. I don't have a degree in leadership. And I realize that everything I learned about leadership, I learned at Hillsdale College on this field with these women.
I really feel like they taught me more than I taught them. My plan was to put together a great program and hope that I didn't get in the way. And that's exactly what happened, I guess. We put together a great program, and it got better and better as the years went on, and I couldn't be more proud of them.